The investigation by special counsel Robert Mueller into Russia's election meddling. And reportedly, the special prosecutor has filed his first charges. Fox News has not yet been able to independently verify who the special counsel would indict or what the charges are, but reports say the person could be taken into custody as soon as tomorrow. Let's bring in our panel. Brad Blakeman, former deputy assistant to President George W. Bush. Scott Bolden, former DNC chair. Gentlemen, nice to see you as always.
Thank you.
Dovetailing off of what Jillian said, this poll about how dysfunctional politics seems, that it is almost a guarantee that no matter who is indicted or what they are indicted for, Republicans will run and say they didn't do anything wrong. Democrats will say they did terrible things wrong. This is evidence of collusion between President Trump and the Russians. Have we lost sight, Brad, of absolute rights and absolute wrongs in America, and now it's only politics?
Absolutely. There's no, room anymore for issues. Issues seem to take a second tier to confusion or to charges or to politics of personal destruction. And that's what's sad, because we got some real problems here in the United States, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. We have massive debt. We have a insurgency all over the world of terrorism. There are some real things that we have to solve, and it seems all to get lost in the politics of gotcha. And what I hope happens tomorrow is that if there are any indictments that come down, it's for their personal behavior and not in collusion either with the Russians or with the campaigns.
Scott, it seems as though Democrats, while Brad's thought is probably what would be best for the country, is that hopefully people who are entrusted and are part of the upper echelons of government wouldn't do anything that is beyond their own personal behavior. Democrats seem to be almost hoping for an indictment that would be a collusion step forward.
Well, I think the Democrats would be arguing that if you're engaged in bad behavior, then that's why the special prosecutor is there. If this is connected to Donald Trump or his campaign, then that's really making the country better simply because it's weeding out bad behavior, in this case, criminal behavior. And you can't really argue with that. The other part is the collusion piece.
Don't worry.
They certainly will. But the other issue is the collusion part. While not a crime in and of itself, if the facts and the body of the indictment that support the charges connects the White House or Trump's campaign or senior people, look for that in the indictment, because then this moves from hoax and fake news to reality, if you will.
But there is also a reality that it at least appears right now that the Clinton campaign is the same people who were funding Fusion GPS that created this dossier. Bob Driscoll, former senior official of the DOJ, on yesterday about this issue.
Certainly politically, it muddies the waters a great deal, because both sides have to kind of be a little bit careful about how absolute they want to make their statements about how serious the crimes involved are, because it looks like any potential allegation from either party could boomerang the other way.
We seem to have this happening a little bit. You're both smiling here if we have the two-shot, because
it's a distraction. I mean,
but at the same time, you're seeing these absolute statements from both sides. This is a crime. This is terrible. And then all of a sudden, when that side, your side's accused of the same thing, Brad, all of a sudden, oh, no, never mind, that's not that big of a deal.
When they do it, it's opposition research. When we do it, it's collusion. But I think Democrats, as a lawyer, have much more exposure criminally, because they're the ones, either the DNC, the Clinton campaign, or both, who paid millions of dollars to Putin's operatives for opposition research. The Trump people didn't pay anything. Now, a Republican operative may have paid for it, but certainly the operative was not part of the campaign as we know it now. It wasn't directed, but they benefited. They benefited Putin with Fusion GPS to the tune of millions of dollars directly. So, be careful what you wish for.
Let me tell you why my colleague is just dead wrong, not just wrong. Okay?
Shocking that you would feel this way.
The Republicans drove this narrative. The Republican operatives are the one that hired Fusion in the first place, and then you had this dossier. The Democrats, because of opposition research, certainly paid, but the GOP certainly paid more.
It wasn't the GOP. It wasn't the GOP.
It was his operative with deep connections to the GOP. Now, the dossier.
Hold on one second.
That's just a fact. There's no doubt about that. And the dossier exists.
Hold on, Chris. There's a point here that it seems as though facts are no longer facts anymore, Brad. That even what is a quote-unquote fact depends really on what side you're on.
Right. And you let the facts suit your own political bent. But one thing is for sure. Hillary Clinton and the DNC paid millions of dollars to a Putin operative, Fusion GPS, for dirt on Donald Trump.
That existed already because the Republicans had paid for it and contracted it out. They did.
A third party who was not connected either to the campaign or the party. There's a huge difference.
I think we
pull the FEC reports. Hold on. Pull the FEC reports, guys, and let's see how much they spent on it.
I think a judge in any court that would hold you both in contempt, but you are arguing vigorously for your sides. Gentlemen, thanks as always.
Thank you.